Welcome everyone to the channel. Welcome new subscribers and returning subscribers. It's great to have you all here. This will be a general collective message for Venus going direct in the sign of Capricorn. All right. So before we get into our messages, just wanted to touch base on the energy itself. So in the previous reading of Venus going direct, you were hearing more so of the explanation of the day that Venus stationed retrograde on the 19th of December. And that day is connected to the 10 of Wands because that day was Sagittarius season, or the sun was in Sag. And the sun is all about creative rulership energy, but also what it is that you're willing to do, as well as your identity, your immortal spirit, and your purpose that is involved. So more so like the focal point. And being that it was on the 19th connected to the 10 of Wands, which is also Saturn in Sag, it's more so connected from the downloads I was receiving, really balancing out what is your responsibility versus what is what you own versus what is just a responsibility. Now, obviously, things that you do own or that belong to you, there may be responsibilities connected to that, but this is more so in regards to with Venus. Venus is all about doing what others want. So there could be this element of doing more of what someone else wants you to do versus what you want to do, and really putting yourself for what it is that you must be doing at a current moment in your life aside for others, or also looking at it as filling another cup from an empty cup. You know what I mean? So with Venus going retrograde, it was a time to really contemplate on love, what it means to you, whether you're in the relationship that is in alignment to your purpose, the relationship that you want, or if you even want to be in a relationship, So the pre-retrograde of this Venus energy was the middle of November, right? So there may have been some combos that you recognize or conflicts coming up, but more so to bring balance through the opposite polarity. So getting what it is that you truly love connected to what you want versus what you don't want, or on the opposite side of what you don't want and what you just are interested in. Okay. So during that time, you may have had situations where people that may have went absent or anything like that, where, things may have just ended to what you may feel as abrupt, but as above, so below. You know what I mean? So even with that being said, this should start to kick into gear within you as far as life happens for and through and not to us. You know what I mean? So it'll really help to allow you to balance situations out or experiences out. Moving forward, we currently have the moon in Capricorn as well. And with the moon in Capricorn, right, which is all about you being able to be more practical about what it is that you're feeling, basically turning water into wine or your pain into success. Okay. Now, at this current moment of me recording this for you all, let me just check and see. 1 second. Let me just check and see. I just want to double check where the moon is degrees wise, so we can get more into the vibes here. Okay, so the moon is in Capricorn right now from what I'm seeing, 7 degrees. All right. And there's this wonderful explanation here of Capricorn 7 degrees that I want to let you all know about. It states a satyr gazing at his reflection in a pond, a jaundiced eye based on past experience, bending the truth to fit negative preconception. Now, this is where the moon is. I'm going to do the same for where Venus is currently, as it did station direct at 11 degrees. So, going again, a jaundiced eye based on past experience, bending the truth to fit negative preconceptions. Long ago and far away, having become enchanted or imprisoned in a lesser state of consciousness, you still follow out the consequences karmically, wildly driven to impose the past to convict yourself as ancient crimes. So remember, now Capricorn is the polar opposite to Cancer. Cancer has a lot to do with your ancestors and karma, really digging deep into family orientation as to the way your mother and father may have been raised and their parents and so on and so forth. It says devoting magnificent resources to a bleak, forbidden trap, so hard on self that mercy and compassion are out of reach. Brutal realism that simply proves its own premises to be correct. All this is ultimately redemptive. In a higher law, a more fertile truth intervenes. But it takes miracles, and you do not believe in them nor feel worthy of them. Yet miracles it will be if your self-condemnation lets them in at the crucial destiny moment, just as you knew it would. Just as you knew it would be underneath the practiced frown in your twinkling heart. Now, what's so ideal about the way, the star systems operate and how it's actually fully connected to us, because we are an embodiment of that. We have Jupiter in Pisces, which is really connected to that miracle sense of vibes here. So let me look at Jupiter's energy. Okay, so we can tie this all together here. See where Jupiter is at. Degrees wise is at 6 degrees, so it's still in the first decan, right? And the first decan of Pisces is connected to the 8 of Cups, which is walking away from that which no longer serves you. And as you can see, where the moon is in Capricorn currently at 7 degrees, it states here, yet miracles it will be if your self-condemnation lets them in. So that's basically canceling that spirit of self-condemnation on worthiness, right? Now, let's look at Jupiter's energy here. This is great for journaling too as well. So that way you're able to really, see it clearly as to, this ways experiences happen in your life or are happening or where you'll be going and things like that. So with Pisces being at 6 degrees is an handkerchief wearing many emeralds. You are on an exquisite paradoxical edge between the deep inner and the ceremonial outer, living between worlds and destiny forged to satisfy both. The inward part predominates. You are working hard on inner levels to master advanced initiatory streams, to do so the ancient way, the hard way. The outward aspect involves being an official representative of many things, most of them no longer recognized in the mass culture. Yet this matters little. The task at hand is to bring forth a ceremonial version of what lives within. There are poignant, tragic, and bittersweet undertones to this pathway, and it requires a proud demeanor, often misunderstood and turned into something completely different from what was intended. I'm reading the energy right now of where Jupiter is in Pisces, as Jupiter connects to preparation, meeting opportunity. And with Venus in Capricorn, it really made you go within in regards to opportunities you may have connected to, want to connect to. Okay, so it continues to say here, you simply must hang in there, hold this focus, and sustain the inner work and the outer style. Balance. Because this is the way it is. There's nobody else to do it. And when you bear a thin thread from ancient to future, that thread determines everything and claims your allegiance down to your toes. And feet have a lot to do with Piscean energy, which is all about illusions as well as delusion and deception. Okay, so it's really balancing out the positive and the negative. That's the only way to becoming whole, is to see in both sides, the spiritual and the physical. Let's look at the energy for where Capricorn is currently at this moment. In Venus, 11 degrees, as I figure. And it states here, a young boy joyously kisses a fat old lady. No, not discriminating, but that's just what I'm reading from this message here in regards to the degrees. You can look at this as allegories, really. So polarities go against each other in order to find each other again. But there's that. When they are still busy going against each other, they pull you apart. And this experience is so definitive, so intense, and so traumatic that you learn to bring the polarities back together any way you can by allowing, like we read for Jupiter and Pisces, the energy of self-condemnation being removed, so that way the essence of what it is and surrendering to what is to bring it to balance. And it continues. The journey to make this possible is an extensive one, because along the way, you must mediate between discrimination and release. You are walking a collective karmic edge between the old and the new, in which both of them must be honored in just the right ways. Yet, the work it takes to bring polarities together in fresh ways is monumental. And that work is utterly redemptive of infinite meaning and scope, in opening doors and letting totality in by conviction, by affinity, and by surrender to the great inevitable. So letting totality, letting wholeness in by conviction, which is all about communication or speaking, but more so from the inner voice, allowing oneself to trust the intuition, or to, see and walk that bridge to really connect 180 degrees of all that it is, right? So, interesting, ain't it? Welcome everyone who is watching this. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Let's get into the message though for Venus and Capricorn direct for the collective. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of Mama Universe. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of Venus. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul, the ruling planets of Capricorn, Saturn. Furthermore, I connect my heart and soul to the 144 sectors of each universe, the 144,000 galaxies of each sector, the 144 million constellations of each galaxy, the 12 solar systems of each constellation, and the 12 planets of each solar system. Ashe, 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 Daiboho, Amun-Ra. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Infinite Creator, Source, Mama Universe, for these messages, and to be the vessel to relay these messages to the collective for their highest purpose, and those that are also involved in their environment or soon to be. Thank you. Now, as we get going with these messages here, another thing you may have realized up until this point is, now that you're ready to make decisions based on the balance that you have within your core, the security that you have with the emotions or energy in motion, and realizing that you are responsible for the frequency that you connect to it. Alongside of that is noticing those that are around who are interested in what you do versus committed to what you do, as well as with yourself, as within, so without. So for those of you, who may have been seeking something else to do, or wanting a raise, you may be deciding to take that step forward and requesting what it is that you want, because you are secure in your worthiness. Therefore, you're able to take action. So let's go ahead and see what the message is. I split the deck. We have Archangel Raphael, the heart chakra. Beautiful. So this is all about what we want versus what we love. Because what we want is the sacral. What we love is the heart chakra. Everything that we want may not necessarily be what we love, or interest, or commitment. Let's see what that is. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to continue to shuffle here. Okay. Let's get one more. All right. So let's see what popped on out here. Ooh, the man holding the coin. Now we can look at this as the King of Pentacles, or the Knight of Pentacles, or going from the Knight to the King. This could also connect to an Emperor, connected to an Empress. Having the key, the external factor, solid foundation, man holding a coin. So this is also bringing me back to those of you who may be seeking raises or deciding what type of connections you want in your life. Those who share the same frequency as you, who are focused, go-getters, solid core values, worth in themselves, and you can see it through their actions. You can see it happening in your physical realm. Along with the King of Pentacles, this could be an energy around you that has a lot of authority, but it's also conservative due to the amount of intelligence it has. So it seems like some of you may be connecting to people with greater authority because you have greater inner authority now, right? By allowing a higher frequency to connect with you because you know your worth. You're no longer guessing that. You have balanced the spiritual and the physical aspect of peak experiences, authority figures. This could really be connected also for some of you, really going back to way the ancestors of your father's lineage or bloodline, to really make it clearer as to why you may be connected to certain masculine energies, or vice versa with, you know, your mother's generation or your mother's lineage or her roots, your roots that's connected to that, to really get you to see the bigger picture here. Because as I mentioned before, Capricorn is the spiritual face of Cancer, right? And Cancer is pretty much where all souls come into incarnation. It's through the womb, through the mother, right? Now, let's see what else, what's coming out with this man holding the coin here. All right, y'all. The woman holding the heart. That's basically like Capricorn and Cancer right there. 44 is also, some of you may be seeing 444. It might be 3 times a day that you see that too. And it's making you think, look at that. You got 44 at the bottom of the deck. So 444, 44, 44 is a major synchronicity for a lot of you right now. Now to see 5 fours right here. This is something that you have been working on. You've been working on the spiritual aspect, and now it's becoming an idea, because an idea is basically the impulse of the spiritual aspect taking form, either objective or subjectively. Okay, so on top of that, you're able to build now, because Venus, ruler of Taurus and Libra, you're able to build solid connections, stronger connections. Because right now, Venus in Capricorn at 11 degrees is the Three of Pentacles, which is working with others who share the same frequency or vibration as you do, and therefore the work is being done much smoother. There's more diligence to getting things done, right? Basically, like a union, yeah, collaborating, working together. Because what it's going to do is going to go into, it's going to go from 11 back to that 25th degree where it's stationed retrograde. And this was all about taking a step away. So there may also be another period where you may step away again, but it seems like a vacation type of energy. It's almost like to regroup. Yeah, it's like going through a cycle, doing the work, resting, allowing what has been done to bear fruit, and then going back to it, right? The process. The woman holding the heart also signifies feminine energy that is connected to the healing of the family, but also in connection to authority figures or the masculine figure around. So it's more so like freeing one's heart, having this spiritual evolution. Okay, so having this spiritual evolution to be able to accept the assistance from the masculine energy that is willing to give, but obviously the masculine that's willing to give, not to just, be in thought, but actually doing. Let's pull another card here. Tell me more about this energy. We're in the I'm not even going through the deck and they just popping through. These are all energy cards that are coming out of this deck at this time. So we have the Angel of Love, 4 and 9, another 4. Ooh, which this is 13. So this is that Scorpio energy as well. But we can look at this also as the Emperor and the Hermit. So really going through this phase of the dark night of the soul while Venus was retrograde, of course, to really connect to what points fully make you feel that you are connected to love, Angel of Love. Okay, we have here at the bottom of the deck, change in the wind. And I feel that this change in the wind is also coming from you building on that spiritual aspect based on limitations and fears and moving past that, right? And this is all being connected to other zebra-like energies because it's bringing me to the animal spirit guide of the zebra, which is all about being around those who are just willing to just go after it, take action. You know what I mean? It's an uplifting spirit. A change in the wind. Now we do also have the new moon in Aquarius show. Okay, and then, oh yeah, feast day, 2/2. But that's a huge day. You know what I may even. Let's continue. So, looking at this further, we have the Angel of Love surrounding the masculine energy within the feminine and the masculine energy in general to fully connect to the spiritual aspect in order to balance out, the practical in order to take action to be in one's power, right? And this Cancer Capricorn energy is part of the cardinal cross, which is connected to royalty. So some of you are noticing more and more who you are. And the more you realize who you are, the less you put yourself in positions that may make you feel like you're unworthy, because that is the thing about not knowing one's power. It'll when you don't know your power or what you're here to do, abuse is inevitable. And there are other energies around you who are placed in your life, whether they know about this, to assist you in remembering through your experience or your encounter with certain people, or even jobs that you may have, the different types of skills that you must have in order to perform the duty at that moment, because it's helping you to remember your soul's plan, like the message, but right before this one. Under a change in the wind, we have a message in the bottle, number 15, which is connected to the devil card here in Tarot, Capricorn energy, but that's also about releasing limitations, okay? Realizing that you are free. And the moment that you allow yourself to receive that calling from within about what it is that you want, the sacral chakra with all of this water here, going down memory lane of these emotions to really dig up that which may have been in place to cause these quote unquote experiences of fear, or the energy of doubt and self-condemnation. Realizing that you are here of the ages, and this is where your victory is coming from, completing a major cycle here. We have 5115. A lot of synchronicities are happening for you. Signs, symbolism, whether it's commercials, while you're on social media, or a car passes by playing a song that triggers something that allows you to change a perception, or change the way, or change what you were thinking of in that moment. Because that's another thing about when the universe wants to catch your attention. It'll send something in, a change in the wind, to get you to redirect the energy, right? But let's get some more messages, y'all. Let's get some more messages here. Let me look at the Intuit Oracle for you all. Intuit Oracle. We have Master that popped on out just in case. 9 of Capricorn. So the beginning is the end, and the end is the beginning. There's something within this re-evaluation that's now allowing you to become more innovative, using your imagination, being more creative, even when it comes to technologies, having groundbreaking developments, realizing that it's all a process and that failure is also a program. Do it again and again, but this could also be the doing it again and again, where you're allowing yourself. So, okay, this is what I'm feeling from do it again and again. You may be going back to something and feeling like you are starting over, but you're not starting over. You're actually going back to it with the experience this time, right? And now you have these inspired ideas, and ideas again is a spiritual impulse taking form. You're now, more equipped to handle whatever task comes your way. Becoming the creator, having the willpower to create. And then we have happening soon under that as well. So some of you could be traveling or preparing to within the next 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days, whatever, 6 hours, 6 seconds, whatever that means to you. But this is all about balance as well. Just a message here for the collective. Wow, changing. What is changing at this time for the collective? What's changing at this time for the collective? Okay, we have the 4 of Pisces. Wow, going within, observation, 0 point, self-examination, exploring the unconscious mind, in the void, desire to know, self-reflection, disconnecting, deep thoughts, and subliminal. So I'm feeling that this is going back to that Nine of Capricorn message that came out, where you're now changing your perspective as it relates to delusions when it came to certain belief systems that you may have adopted from generation to generation. And with this change in the wind 12 here, which is also connected to Neptune's energy, by you bringing love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius could also be shifting you to really connect more to your knowing, having more faith in your belief through knowing, not simply just believing and, you know, making yourself susceptible to believing anything. Okay, so something is definitely changing here that's connecting you to higher vibes, freedom. What else does it say here? Higher perspective, independence, stress-free, letting it go, which is the Two of Capricorn. Tell me more. The Constellation. Okay, you see that there? This is the Three of Cancer, which we can look at this as Mercury in Cancer. Okay, and like I said before, Cancer is the physical face of Capricorn, and the physical face of Cancer's energy is all about your ancestors, you know, karmic lessons that you have experienced to gain deeper meaning, or experiences that made you go within because of the effect of a certain experience. So the Constellation card here talks about network support, networking with your galactic ancestors here, okay? Really having meetings with your galactic ancestors through your meditations, through, you know, your automatic writings. Those of you who have your own tarot oracle cards, really finding the deeper meaning of what these emotions mean, what these feelings mean now. Look at that, 543 as a matter of fact. So really going deep, 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 deep within, exchanging data as far as like what it is that you're connected to, why you're connected to it. Why does this have to be such a great influence in your life, or even allowing it to be? Okay, we have here at the bottom of the deck the number 2 of Taurus. Synchronized alliance, duo, partnerships, unison, equality, collaboration, togetherness, simpatico, aligned, hookup, cooperation. What was that from The Bad Teacher? Harmony, help, join, consensus, two of a kind. So I'm really feeling like if this has to do with, you know, connections and relationships of love, it's more so you and another person connected to all parts of themselves, mind, body, soul, spirit, and both of you linking that energy with source, the infinite creator of all. And this union that you have is bringing forth abundance, abundance that is just for eternity. It just doesn't stop. It's fruitful. Okay, we have the bedroom under that, and then the telephone. What else? And the balloons. This is some beautiful energy, y'all. 2, 6, 2, 2, 2, 2. Look at that. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 6. So there's a lot of fulfillment happening because you've been able to really go within in this alone time, ending what needs to, and there goes astral travel, by the way. Telephone talks about inner voice. These are just words that are coming up from these cards that are pretty much clarifying what we've been talking about here. Let's get the tarot card. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up with the tarot. Let's see what's up with the tarot. Let's get a theme here. What is the message for the collective? Venus and Capricorn going direct. That was harmony and awareness. And we have light and awareness. The sun and the magician. Let's see what comes out. What is the message for the collective? Okay, the crown chakra and the sacral chakra. Wow, there goes the wisdom, which is all about Venus energy when it comes to Taurus. Okay, now sacral and the crown chakra collective. You now know what you want. Basically, that's what this is. We're not even going to string that along. That's just what it is. You now know what you want. You now know what you want. You now know what you want. 9-9. Completions from suffering and silence and connecting to your spiritual strength. Anymore. Obstacles and challenges. You now know what you want from the obstacles and challenges. 5 of Wands, Saturn and Leo. You know, removing those limitations and realizing that you are the creator. As long as you trust and know and believe and have faith that you are, and no longer being conflicted. Then we have victory and success. Say less. Partnerships and alliances. Straight like that. You know what you want. Now the universe is prepared to give it to you. Because you know what you want from knowing what you can handle and what you're not willing to deal with anymore. Okay? Because you no longer want to put yourself in that position to have to heal yourself from the same thing again. So this obstacle or challenge may have been presented to you for you to fully see where victory and success is connected to the opposite polarity. Okay. Under that, you have fulfillment of wishes and prosperity begins. 391, 391 may mean something to you, or this could even be connected to Jupiter in Pisces, Mars in Pisces, for those of you who may have that connection. Okay. 3-9 or 3-1 to 3-9. March 1st to March 9th. But let's see what the more detailed tarot cards have for you. Let's see what we got, y'all. Victory and success through the obstacles and challenges. Okay. Balance to the chakras. You know what you want and you know what you love. Are they in alignment? You know what I mean? So let's see here. Let's see what we got. Collective. That was the star card that popped in and out. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? 6 of Wands comes on out. We have the Hanged Man. Okay. Victory and success was delayed until you realized who you were through all the obstacles and challenges of being of service, but there's an energy that you're supposed to be of service to in purifying, you know, any type of lower frequencies that keeps you doing it again and again. So you had a moment where things were at a pause for you to fully see Venus retrograde, but this is Venus in Virgo, for you to fully see. For some of you, this may have to do with family, 4 of Wands, or a particular union that you're in, both partners really analyzing a lot about their past here. It could even be having to do with financial matters as well, where, you know, more management when it comes to finances allows you both to really thrive and move forward. Really having those discussions that you may not be comfortable having, but this could also be due to certain past traumas of yourself as a child, or even your parents or their parents, however it fits. Okay, so there was a moment of deep reflection of going within to really connect to that, you know, frequency of victory and success here. Tell me more. What's next here? Oh, we have the 10 of Wands. And as I put the cards back into my hand, like into my left hand, which is all about receiving, there's a card that fell here, which is the Page of Wands. Okay, so receiving the assistance, receiving those who may want to help you and move forward with the same passion as you. 10 of Wands energy. This is when Venus and Capricorn went retro, okay, where it started to really get you to analyze, what is it that you're holding on to? Is it yours? What is it going to do for you? So there was a moment where you had to allow yourself to be upside down or sacrifice certain things. And here we have the Page of Wands. So the moment you were able to release that, this may have happened within the last 10 weeks for some of you as well. Yeah, as of the moment it was in that shadow phase, you know, certain conversations were coming up with the lover or an ally. And now that you're able to really see what it is and connect the dots, here comes amazing news, a new beginning, something that you can rely and progress with, you know? What else do you have here for collective source? Okay, yeah, something that you can progress with. This is also, you can look at this, the Devil card in general, this energy of Capricorn is working with it. You know, putting it to work, not really restricting oneself to put that work in, or to allow fear to connect, you know, with where you see victory and success, or where it can actually cause self-sabotaging thoughts, allowing the newness to come in, right? The new success, new relationships, through supreme unconditional love, through spiritual fulfillment. Okay. It's basically like, when it comes to the polarity of the Devil card, we're looking at the Chariot. So it's really like moving forward, allowing the passion of your soul to guide you, which means that you have been still enough to hear that voice, okay? In connection to what it is that you love, what you can, willing to do what you want with all that you currently have. Having gratitude for where you've come from, what you have, so that way you can move forward, because it's through gratitude that you're opening up yourself to more things to be grateful for. But let me just see here what this energy is about for y'all. Clarify the Devil card here, source. What is this about? What's this? Temperance, patience. Okay, having patience. It seems like limitations were set due to the lack of patience and being more result-oriented than process-oriented. Okay, this could also be Sagittarius energy, but also, as you can see here, through the valley, you're on your way to a new dawn. Yep, there we got wish fulfillment at the bottom of the deck. Everything happened for a reason. It's in knowing the purpose that allowed you to gain the power. Tell me more here. Lovers. Wow. As you can see, okay, when it comes to love, those of you who now know what it is that you want, or in a union at this time, and resolving past karma in terms of the way you handle certain things that you may have found it difficult to discuss with your partner, you now have, or, you know, allowing the process of healing to happen, right? And you can look at the Lover's card here, this energy of the balance of action and wisdom, earth and water, fire and air, really balancing it all, making it whole. This is beautiful. Yeah, this is definitely connected to conflicting conversations and really making those changes to balance it out. Really utilizing what it is that you feel through a much more logical sense. Realizing that they operate from different chakras. Feelings from the heart, thoughts from the crown. And here we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is all about endurance, taking the long road, doing things the hard way, but eventually getting to where you want to be. Notice how the Knight of Pentacles, this is also, I'm picking up on fixed signs here. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. But there was a major transformation when it comes to your worth that allowed you to really see where you're currently at in any form of relationships. Does it actually relate? And do you want to keep moving forward on that ship? Okay. Yeah. Moon and Libra, Two of Swords, stalemate, sitting on something for too long, overprotecting oneself, being guarded, and not realizing that the waters around you are much calmer now. But it's through one's own doing, one's own reflection, that the shift happens, the motivation. But we must be mindful as to what is inspiring that motivation, or are you, making yourself a part of things that inspire you to even begin with. Okay. And not things that make you feel like you want to go back into your shell. We also have the polarity as well. We have Mercury energy really strong here too, with the Knight of Pentacles, also connected to Virgo, or that man holding the coin as well, receiving that assistance, with Gemini also being ruled by Virgo, and that's the polar opposite of Sagittarius. Gemini is the physical aspect of the spiritual side. So Gemini is really that messenger of all three realms. Life, death, and beyond, mind, body, soul, mind, body, spirit, really being able to connect on a much deeper level and to express that. Let me see what else we got here. Nine of Wands. Now notice how the Nine of Wands is looking in this direction. This is all about deciding, are you going to continue to do the same things that wound you, or are you going to take the path that may seem like, it may seem like a challenge, but it's being in that motion of slow and steady, not rushing things, because it's all a process until things become balanced out. Really allowing the energy to reach in order for it to transfer. So putting in the work before the transfer occurs. We have this, there's a lot of Gemini energy here though. Knight of Swords. This is also connected to financial matters where you may have been impulsive in terms of, a mindset as to have, a mindset of you have to have this material thing, when in reality, the stronger your spirit is, or your connection to your spirituality, the more you're gaining the material. As within, so without. Okay, under this we have the Two of Pentacles, Jupiter and Capricorn. Okay, this is also an expansion in your work, but it requires you to be more hands-on. So it's going back to not worrying about the funds or the material. It's just really doing the work. And the material aspect will follow. Because again, as within, so without. Right? Let's close off our message, y'all, with an animal spirit for the current energy for the collective. That was the moth and the nightingale. There's the energy here for the collective. Bear and the hawk. Final message for the collective. Venus Capricorn retrograde. One more shuffle. Oh, the camel, which is all about being able to walk through the desert, being able to walk through the heat. Transformation through fire. What's the message for the collective? Spirit for the collective. You got to be shitting me. The camel with the unicorn at the bottom of the deck. The camel was like, no, I am the message. You gonna read me. Say less. We here for it. Sure. We are here for it. The camel is resourceful, independent, and knows oneself. I see why. The camel can handle absolutely anything, as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. Come through. You see, you come through source, as you always do. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease, even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger. The camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. Ashe. This is on page 133. You're coming to master. Whew. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's reactions, one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips to faraway lands. See, so you're definitely going to be traveling, whether astral or, physically. This is beautiful. When in balance, calm, content, sparkle in eye. When out of balance, dehydrated, lacks vitality, which is also connected to Aries energy or Mars. Okay. And Mars is doing what you want. Lacks vitality. You're out of balance of this camel's energy when you're not doing what you want to do and just what others want. Then we have here to bring into balance a pilgrimage, which is also connected to the Three of Wands. So for those of you who may be pulling your own cards and the Three of Wands has been coming out for you, may this message bring you the clarity as to why. Let's see what the unicorn message is. Final message. Again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I am open for personals. And today is the last day that I have up for, Venus going direct, and your own personal message as to what that may mean for you, giving me more clarity, okay? Just send me an email. And the unicorn is about reconnecting to higher wisdom, which was the card at the bottom of the deck when we initially were pulling for the tarot. Okay, being loyal to what it is that you now know, putting more value to what you know. It says here, reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago. The mind answers maybe, or could it be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher life and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating that the unexplicable, inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there's something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for the answers. The unicorn and the sixth chakra. It says here, it's no surprise the subtle essence of the unicorn card resides at the third eye, that exact place from which the unicorn's horn extends. This center is called the Ajna Chakra or command center. This is why when you meditate and you're doing your affirmations and you're connecting or opening that mind's eye by being able to hear your voice without speaking, you should be able to know what it is that what you sound like. Okay, then it has it here. The ancient yogis believed it is to be responsible for our intellect, intuition, and deepest wisdom. Some say two eyes see the past and present, while the third eye peers into the future. Collective, that is your message. As a matter of fact, let's really close this off with love cards. Let's do that. I mean, it's only fitting. Yeah. Outside. All right, y'all. Love messages. Love messages. Messages of love as Venus has gone direct. The collective knows what they want. What is the word of advice? Message of advice for the collective when it comes to love. Message of advice for the collective when it comes to love. Message of advice for the collective when it comes to love. Past, present, and future I'm going to do here. Message for the past. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So for those of you who needed clarity about a past situation, the first message on out for the past is unrequited love. There may be children involved, or there may have had to be some inner child healing that caused the unrequited love. So really handling that before stepping into something, you know what I mean? Now, when it comes to love for the collective, we have love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And at the bottom of the deck, we have a past life relationship. So this seems like this unrequited love is, I mean, everything that you experience, it's a part of your journey, your destiny connected to your fated life. And for those of you here, you have known each other before. So like I was saying about, certain experiences or people you encounter are literally there to help you to remember so that you're able to evolve and break those psychological blocks, right? So in order for you to have more self-respect or self-worth, really connecting to Venus and Capricorn retrogrades, intent for all. And we have two cards. With make the effort at the bottom of the deck, it says here, great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take by enjoying the process fully. The two messages, wow, you have playfulness and heart-to-heart conversation. Mercury is still retrograde, y'all. So this unrequited love may be coming back, but your self-respect in this moment right now makes you more romantically attractive. And this is something that people could be seeing, which is what causes them to come back and really be able to express themselves honestly about their feelings. You know what I mean? Because as within, so without. So if there are things that you were masking or covering up, that's what's going to show itself in your environment. So to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. This is really all about, following the ebbs and flow of life, making it more effortless. You know what I mean? So like it says here, make the effort. At the bottom of the deck, we do have deception, and wow, this could be the one, because this person could be coming in as new love now. However, I will tell you, use your discernment. All right, so we have here, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. Even for those of you who are in a current relationship, releasing the way you communicate about certain topics that make you uncomfortable could really help you to experience more love in that union. All right, y'all. So that is your message, and I'll see you next time.